Did you know that 70% of chess players struggle in the middle game? If you are one of them, you are not alone. You have prepared your opening, but now you are stuck wondering what's next. In this video, I'll reveal 25 powerful strategies to help you dominate the middle game. Number 1. Connect your rooks. Moving pieces off the back rank and connecting your rooks gives them greater flexibility and control across files. Rooks operate most effectively when they can support each other or double up on open files. This setup is particularly powerful for launching attacks, reinforcing defenses, and controlling center or open files. Number 2. Open files with rooks. Rooks are strongest on open or semi-open files, as they need open lines to be effective. By placing your rooks on these files, they can infiltrate your opponent's position and press weak points, like isolated or backward pawns. Opening a file also allows you to connect your rooks and create potential for joint operations. Number 3. Attack doubled or backward pawns. Doubled or backward pawns are structural weaknesses, as they are harder to defend and limit the flexibility of other pawns around them. By attacking these pawns, you can draw out your opponent's pieces to defend them or even win them with correct piece coordination. Targeting such weaknesses often creates long-term positional pressure. Number 4. Avoid pawn weaknesses. Pawns are the only pieces that can't move backward, so weaknesses created by pawn moves are often permanent. Avoid unnecessary pawn moves in the middle game to maintain a solid structure. A pawn weakness can give your opponent a fixed target and might become a liability in the endgame. Number 5. Weak squares. Weak squares, especially in the center or near the king, are valuable locations for your pieces to occupy. Since pawn can't chase them away, placing a knight or other piece on a weak square creates a strong outpost that can control critical areas and support attacks. Identifying and occupying these weak squares often translates into lasting positional advantages. Number 6. The passed pawn. A passed pawn has no opposing pawns blocking its path to promotion, making it a valuable asset. Supporting and advancing a passed pawn can tie down your opponent's pieces or even decide the game if it reaches the promotion square. Passed pawns are particularly powerful in the endgame, where they can draw the opponent's king or pieces away from other parts of the board. Number 7. Keep the bishop pair. The bishop pair is often a valuable advantage, especially in open positions, where they can control long diagonals. Bishops work well together because they cover both colors and complement each other's control. By keeping your bishop pair, you retain more attacking potential and flexibility for various middle game plans. Number 8. Tactics. Tactics are short-term forcing moves that can win material or create a decisive advantage. Common tactical patterns include forks, pins, skewers, and discover attacks. Mastering tactics allows you to capitalize on your opponent's mistakes, often turning small positional advantages into winning opportunities. Number 9. Use the queen. The queen is a versatile attacking piece able to move quickly across the board to support various plans. However, be cautious about overexposing the queen, as it can be a target if brought out too early. Use the queen to support attacks on weak squares or pawns, but ensure it's well supported by other pieces. Number 10. Pawn structure. Your pawn structure is the foundation of your position and dictates the plans for both sides. A strong, harmonious pawn structure supports your pieces and controls key squares, while a compromised structure may have weaknesses. Understanding and maintaining a healthy pawn structures helps guide your middle game and in-game strategies. Number 11. Centralize. Placing pieces, particularly knights and bishops, in central squares gives them maximum scope and flexibility. Centralized pieces control more squares, allowing for rapid transitions between offense and defense. By centralizing your forces, you can space your control and options for various tactical and positional plans. Number 12. Move pieces, not pawns. In the middle game, focus on activating and repositioning pieces rather than making unnecessary pawn moves. Moving too many pawns can create weaknesses and reduce your flexibility. Prioritize piece activity and coordination to apply pressure without overcommitting your pawn structure. Number 13. Restrict enemy pieces. Limit the activity of your opponent's pieces by placing your pieces in controlling positions. For example, a well-placed knight can restrict a bishop, while a pawn on advanced square might confine an opponent's knight. By restricting their options, you can gain space, and a positional advantage. Number 14. Analyze in-game chances. As you approach the endgame, assess your pawn structure, piece placement, and king activity to determine if simplifying the position benefits you. Aim to retain pawns and pieces that give you a structural or dynamic advantage in the endgame. Evaluating endgame potential guides your decisions in exchanges and strategic planning. Number 15. Rook Rift. A rook rift involves moving a rook up its file, typically the third rank, and then across to attack or support another area of the board. Rook rifts can create unexpected trades and are particularly powerful for attacking the king or reinforcing other pieces. This maneuver adds flexibility and can be a game changer in attack plans. Number 16. Pawn Storm. Advancing your pawns on the side where your opponent has castled can open lines and create weaknesses in their king's position. Pawn storms often work best with opposite side castling, allowing you to use your pawns as battering rams to break open the opponent's defenses. Coordinate with your pieces to exploit open files and weaken squares around the enemy king. Number 17. Create a battery. A battery occurs when you line up two or more pieces like a queen and bishop or two rooks on a single file or diagonal. Batteries are powerful attacking resources, especially when aimed at weaknesses near the opponent's king. A well-placed battery can apply tremendous pressure and lead to devastating tactical blows. Number 18. Smart exchanges. Consider exchange carefully, aiming to trade pieces only when it benefits you strategically or tactically. For example, exchanging a bishop for an opponent's knight may be advantageous in close position. Smart exchanges can simplify complex position, remove strong opposing pieces, or prepare for a favorable endgame. Number 19. Stick the bishops close. When bishops are near each other, especially in connected diagonals, they can cover a broad area and support each other. This arrangement enhances their defensive and offensive potential, controlling important squares and adding flexibility to your position. Close bishops also work well to defend weak squares and counter knight threats. Number 20. The center. Dominating the center with pawns and pieces gives you more options and restricts your opponent's movements. Center control allows pieces to shift quickly between attack and defense, while preventing your opponent from launching their own plans. Strong central control often translates into special and tactical advantages. Number 21. Knight on the 6th rank. A knight on your 6th rank is often a powerful outpost, putting pressure on pawns, controlling key squares, and supporting potential attacks. This knight can be also challenging for your opponent to remove, giving you a lasting positional advantage. Number 22. Rook on the 7th rank. A rook on your 7th rank is typically very strong because it attacks pawns, restricts the opposing king, and can combine with other pieces for mating trades. Controlling this rank often allows your rook to dominate the position and support and advantages in-game. Number 23. Attack the king. Look for opportunities to attack the opponent's king, especially if they have weaknesses in their pawn structure or lack of defenders. Even if a full attack isn't feasible, you can often create weaknesses that will benefit you in the endgame. Make sure your pieces are coordinated and can shift quickly to support the attack. Number 24. Positional sacrifices. Sacrificing material for long-term positional gains is often a hallmark of strong play. A positional sacrifice can open lines, create weak squares in the opponent's camp, or drive their king into a vulnerable position. Sacrifices should be calculated carefully to ensure the compensation justifies the material losses. Number 25. Are you familiar with this position? This position is a very common middle game scenario, and this position is already explained by me on the 5th position of this video, suggested on your screen. Do click the video, and thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel and like, share and comment our video.